The drama surrounding Zendaya and Tom Holland doesn't begin with a scandal, a betrayal, or a headline-grabbing controversy. It begins quietly, almost invisibly, on a movie set where two young actors were handed the keys to one of the most beloved franchises in modern cinema. At the time, they were simply co-stars, two rising talents stepping into roles that carried enormous expectations. But somewhere between rehearsed lines and shared laughter, something unscripted began to take shape. In 2016, as cameras rolled on Spider-Man: Homecoming, the world was focused on the rebirth of a superhero. Few noticed the subtle chemistry forming behind the scenes. Zendaya, already a familiar face thanks to her early career, carried herself with a calm confidence that came from years in the spotlight. Holland, fresh off his theatrical triumph in Billy Elliot the Musical, brought a different kind of energy, raw, athletic, and eager. Together, they created a dynamic that felt natural, effortless, and impossible to fake. At first, it was easy to dismiss. Co-stars often grow close. They spend months together, share intense schedules, and rely on each other to bring stories to life. But this was different. There was a rhythm between them, a quiet understanding that extended beyond the script. Interviews began to hint at it. Holland spoke of Zendaya with admiration that went deeper than professional respect. He described her as someone he could lean on, someone who understood the overwhelming nature of sudden fame. Zendaya, in turn, praised his kindness and sincerity, carefully framing their bond as friendship while leaving just enough ambiguity to keep fans guessing. As their on-screen characters grew closer across films like Spider-Man: Far From Home and Spider-Man: No Way Home, audiences began to blur the line between fiction and reality. The idea that Peter Parker and MJ might be falling in love off-screen became a narrative of its own, one that unfolded slowly, deliberately, and mostly out of sight. For years, speculation swirled. There were sightings, whispers, and carefully worded denials. Both Zendaya and Holland insisted they were just friends, even as their connection seemed to deepen. Behind that carefully constructed privacy, their individual careers were exploding in ways few could have predicted. Zendaya was no longer just a former teen star. She was becoming a force. Her performance in Euphoria redefined her public image, earning critical acclaim and elevating her to a new level of artistic credibility. She wasn't just acting, she was shaping narratives, influencing culture, and commanding attention in an industry that rarely grants such power to someone so young. At the same time, she was building something even bigger behind the scenes. Her presence in fashion became impossible to ignore. Partnerships with brands like Valentino and Prada weren't just endorsements. They were collaborations that reflected her personal style and vision. When she stepped onto a red carpet, it wasn't just an appearance, it was a statement. Her influence extended beyond clothing into identity, representation, and the evolving definition of modern celebrity. Holland's journey mirrored this rise, but along a different path. While the Spider-Man suit made him a global icon, he refused to be defined by it. He pursued roles that challenged him, stepping into stories that demanded vulnerability and depth. Yet what truly set him apart was his discipline. His background in dance and theater gave him a physicality that transformed his performances. When he moved, it wasn't just acting, it was instinct, precision, and years of training converging into something that felt real. Financially, their trajectories were just as impressive. Holland's earnings grew with each Marvel installment, reflecting both his popularity and his value to the franchise. But he didn't stop there. He began exploring business ventures, including the launch of his non-alcoholic beverage brand, a decision rooted in personal growth rather than pure profit. It was a move that revealed a different side of him, one that prioritized intention and authenticity over easy success. While their professional lives expanded, their personal connection continued to evolve in the background. There were moments that hinted at something deeper. A dinner with Zendaya's family. Quiet trips taken away from public view. Occasional glimpses of them together that felt too intimate to be coincidence. Still, they maintained their stance. Just friends. Then, in July 2021, everything changed. A single moment, captured through a camera lens, shifted the narrative entirely. The images were undeniable. Zendaya and Holland sharing a kiss in a parked car, unaware or perhaps unconcerned about being seen. It wasn't staged. It wasn't part of a promotional campaign. It was real. And just like that, years of speculation were confirmed in an instant. The reaction was immediate and overwhelming. Fans who had followed their story from the beginning felt vindicated. The idea of their relationship had become something larger than celebrity gossip. It was a modern fairy tale, one that unfolded in real time and felt strangely personal to those watching from afar. But even as the world celebrated, Zendaya and Holland remained true to themselves. They didn't turn their relationship into a spectacle. They didn't flood social media with declarations of love. Instead, they continued to protect what they had built, sharing only what they chose and keeping the rest hidden. Their lifestyle, however, offered glimpses into the scale of their success. Together, they built a real estate portfolio that reflected both ambition and strategy. From Los Angeles to London to New York, their homes weren't just investments, they were sanctuaries. Spaces designed to provide privacy in a world that rarely allows it. Each property told a story of growth, from early purchases to multi-million-dollar estates that symbolized how far they had come. Travel became another defining element of their relationship. When distance threatened to pull them apart, they closed it with a level of ease few could imagine. Private flights replaced long separations. Exotic destinations became temporary escapes from the pressures of fame. Whether it was a quiet retreat or a high-profile event, their movements reflected a balance between luxury and discretion. Yet perhaps the most fascinating aspect of their story isn't the wealth, the fame, or even the romance itself. It's the way they've chosen to navigate it all. In an era where visibility often equals value, Zendaya and Holland have taken the opposite approach. They've built walls around their relationship not out of secrecy but out of intention. They understand that some things lose their meaning when exposed to constant scrutiny. This philosophy extends into how they support each other. They show up, but not always in ways that demand attention. A visit to a film set, attendance at a performance, quiet gestures that matter more than public displays ever could. Their connection isn't performative, it's grounded, steady, and built on mutual respect. Looking ahead, their story seems poised to enter a new chapter. Their upcoming collaboration in The Odyssey under the direction of Christopher Nolan represents more than just another project. It's a reunion on screen that carries the weight of everything they've experienced together off-screen. Sharing the frame again, this time as established stars rather than rising talents, signals just how far they've come. At the same time, whispers about their personal future continue to grow louder. Reports of an engagement suggest that their relationship has reached a level of commitment that goes beyond what the public sees. If true, it marks the culmination of a journey that began almost a decade ago. A journey defined not by sudden passion, but by patience, growth, and an unwavering connection. In many ways, Zendaya and Tom Holland represent a new kind of Hollywood power couple. They aren't defined by constant visibility or manufactured narratives. Instead, they've created something more enduring, an identity built on individuality, mutual support, and a shared understanding of what truly matters. They've proven that it's possible to thrive both together and apart, to build empires without losing sight of the person standing beside you. And maybe that's why their story resonates so deeply. It isn't just about fame or fortune. It's about timing, trust, and the quiet moments that shape something real. It's about two people who met at the beginning of their journeys and chose, again and again, to grow alongside each other rather than drift apart. As their careers continue to evolve and their influence expands, one question lingers in the minds of fans around the world. Where does their story go next? Will they continue to guard their privacy as fiercely as they have so far? Will their on-screen reunion redefine their legacy as a pair? Or will the next chapter bring changes no one sees coming? Whatever happens, one thing is certain: the world will be watching, even if only from a distance. And now it's your turn. Do you think Zendaya and Tom Holland are Hollywood's most genuine couple? Or is their privacy part of what makes them seem that way? What do you expect from their next on-screen collaboration? And do you believe their relationship will continue to grow stronger in the spotlight? Share your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of Hollywood's most fascinating modern love stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories that go beyond the surface.